Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Pauline Wilkie. I am one of your board of directors and YPM membership chair. And I just wanted to say thanks for all being here, and we'll start this awesome MLS marketing meeting today. So first, we're going to go over some housekeeping tools. Oh, I'm sorry. I always do that. First, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So everyone can please stand up.
I'm not trying to tease you.
Place their over their heart. And then 1, 2, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so some housekeeping.
You probably haven't.
The meeting will be running no more than from 9 to 10. If you have any questions or comments, please use the chat on the right, or you can use your raise hand feature. Once you're called upon, please unmute yourself so you can speak. If you're not speaking, everyone please try to keep mute so we all the background noise. And then just a reminder to submit your listings the day before on Monday before 12 o'clock to have them showcased today. And then if you are wanted to do a town crier, talk about maybe an event that you're hosting, then make sure that you can submit the town criers before 3 o'clock on Monday. All right, so we're gonna start off with our affiliate spotlight. Autumn. Are you there, Autumn?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Awesome. How are you guys?
We're fantastic. How are you? How's business? Tell us.
It's good. I'm thankful to be able to see you guys on Zoom, because I miss the one-on-one connection that we get on Tuesday mornings and the coffee together. So I do miss that, you guys. It's nice to be here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to chat with you a little bit about Generations. It's going well. So if you don't know me, my name is Autumn, and I'm the Inland Empire sales executive for Generations Escrow. We've got 6 branches, and our newest branch is here in Menifee. So if you're in the area and you have a mask, or if you just want to come peek in the windows, we'd love to see you guys. And it's a beautiful facility. Janet and Barry did a great job. We're so thankful to be thriving in this crazy market, as you guys know. So if you're in the area, come check it out. Also, I wanted to chit chat a little bit about what sets us apart here at Generations. We're 100% independent. We are not affiliated with real estate or title. So we also have our amazing corporate office, which gives us 1,000% as far as support. It also protects your clients' monies and make sure that we stay compliant with all the new laws. As you guys know, they're changing, it seems like almost daily. So we have a very strong, solid core, and that is because of our amazing owner, Janet. She has been in the business for years. Like over 40 years. She owned one of the largest independent escrow companies prior to Generations. So she has been through, and she knows the systems that need to be in place in order for escrow to be successful, and just amazing. We have a really strong core. So we are so thankful to have Janet, who has been through escrow for years and knows the business inside and out. Also, I wanted to say Generations is 100% supportive of everybody who has in-house escrow. So I just wanted to clear the air with that. I think that there's a misconception, but we really encourage you, if you have in-house, to use your in-house escrow, but always to consider us as a backup. Not all times, things go smoothly with in-house, or there are hiccups. So we just want to be considered your backup and the town is small, and so we run our business really based on just getting along with one another and supporting one another.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being here today and discussing. I'm sure.
Miss you guys. Have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and mute it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline.
Okay. So now we're super excited that we have a guest speaker today and taking her time out of, I'm sure, her very busy schedule to be here and to give us a little bit of an update with our what's going on with the hospitals in Temecula Valley. So Darlene, are you on? She is the CEO with Temecula Valley Hospital.
I am. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Sure.
So,
what I'd like, go ahead.
I would say, okay, so just take the floor.
Okay. What I'd like to do is share some of the most frequently asked questions that I get asked as the CEO at the hospital. Questions come to me on Facebook, or people who reach out to me on social media, other ways on our website, or they'll just call the hospital. And so I'm going to kind of cover what I would see as the most frequently asked questions. And then once I get done with that, then I would certainly like to open it up to anybody that has things on their mind or questions you might have about what's happening with the pandemic. I'll be happy to answer those at the end. So one of the frequent questions is, do we have a lot of COVID patients in the hospital? I get asked that all the time. And yes, we are taking care of COVID patients, but it is certainly not the majority of the patients here at the hospital. People ask me for numbers, and I'm hesitant to share that because it's a moving target, you know. So if I was to answer right now in 2 hours, it would be different. So to give you a range, you know, we're a 140-bed hospital. This morning, there are 19 patients in the hospital that are positive for COVID. So it's a small percentage. And again, you know, yesterday it was 26, tomorrow it could be 10. So it really varies depending on what's going on and the needs of the patients in this area. So certainly not overwhelmed with COVID, and we have adequate space to take care of the patients. So another important question is, how are we keeping these patients separate from the other patients in the hospital? So again, for example, you know, today there's 19 patients, there's 140 beds in the hospital, and we have another about 100 patients in the hospital today that don't have COVID. So very safely able to separate them. We've actually built dedicated units to COVID patients, and you'll find that in most hospitals in this region have done the same thing. So when I'm speaking for Temecula Valley Hospital, it'd be very similar at any of the hospitals in Southwest Riverside County as to how they're segregating patients. So literally walls are built, units are segregated. So you're actually going through, you know, doorways and entryways into separate areas, completely separate from the rest of the hospital, to keep those patients completely isolated and very separate from everybody else. Same thing happens in the emergency room. There are segregated areas where you can stay safely away from anybody that's infectious from the other patients. And in the operating rooms, recovery rooms, all those areas are completely segregated and separate. A popular question, which still fascinates me, is there seems to be this misperception that we're taking care of everyone from Mexico. That's a fun one for me because we're certainly not. But that is a real popular topic on social media, on YouTube. You hear about that. Mexico is certainly hard hit, and the border counties of California, San Diego County, Imperial County, you know, they have a lot of Mexican nationals that are receiving care in those hospitals. What's happened in Riverside County is the patients from Imperial County, those areas became overwhelmed. There's only 2 hospitals in that county. Once they got full, then they started transferring patients out to other counties, and certainly way more than Riverside County. They went to, you know, as far as San Francisco. So these patients are spread throughout the state when a particular area gets overwhelmed. In the capital, there is a transfer center national for COVID patients. So any county that gets in trouble, they reach out to there and say, I've got, you know, 6 patients that I need to find a home for. Helicopters are then just, you know, deployed, and those patients are placed in hospitals. each hospital has the ability to say, yes, I can safely do that, or no, due to my circumstances, my beds, my staffing, my resources, I can't safely take anyone. We took patients back in May, as did many hospitals in Riverside County, but we haven't taken any since then. And if you read the newspaper, sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. But on the patients from Imperial County, there's only 2 patients in Riverside County in hospitals now. So certainly not overwhelming any of the hospitals, and a lot of that was very hyped up and very inaccurate information. But we do take care of patients from all over. You know, when I look at the zip codes of the COVID patients we have, they're from all over, you know, because people travel, they're visiting with loved ones or family members, or they came out for the 4th of July holiday or Mother's Day. They end up getting sick and they end up in whatever hospital they're at. So that's common all the time, regardless of what's happening. So certainly caring for patients outside, you know, from Los Angeles County, Riverside County, San Diego County. It's not just our own area that we care for. So it's not that unusual to have from Imperial County and San Diego County as well. One of the important things that I get asked about, again, is it safe to come to the hospital? And I spend a lot of my time speaking about this because what we're seeing is the unintended consequences of the COVID pandemic. And what I mean by that is someone sadly will have a stroke at home, have all the classic symptoms of a stroke, you know, with weakness on one side or slurred speech. They will be so afraid of calling 911, they'll literally stay home for a week. And by the time someone finally gets them to the hospital, it's really literally too late for us to do anything with that type of a stroke patient. I mean, every minute matters in a stroke. And the same thing, heart attacks, people are having chest pain, very severe chest pain, 5 or 6 days at home and not coming in because of fear. And so really important, and I need all of your help to get that word out. Emergency rooms are very safe. You're going to get in a lot more trouble staying at home with those types of serious illnesses out of fear for COVID. So please encourage your loved ones and your friends and family to continue to seek care. People with infections, we've had people postpone dog bites, and those can be serious, cat bites, severe cuts, bleeding, all types of things. People are avoiding the emergency room. And so we're seeing an increase in our ICU, not of COVID, but of everybody else that's waited too long. And by the time they get here, we're literally trying to save their life if we possibly can. So very scary what's happening as an unintended consequences. Hospitals, of course, need to be the role model for keeping clean, keeping sanitized, infection-free, wearing masks, protective equipment. So I'm asked a lot about, you know, what are we doing about that? People ask for my advice on what they should do in their, you know, their own settings. Certainly, you know, the social distancing is important. The mask is important when you're in an area where you can't keep 6 feet away from someone else. So I certainly promote that. Everyone's wearing a mask at the hospital. So that's important that we role model that, because we have opened for visitation. And so we're introducing a lot of people into the hospital. And very important to me is that I protect the employees, the physicians, as well as our patients, because the last thing I want is my staff to become exposed. So everybody that comes in is checked at the front door. We check everybody's temperature and make sure that they have a mask anytime that they're in the hospital. So that's one of the dangers of visitation, is you could possibly be bringing things into the hospital to expose your workforce. But I'm such an advocate of visitation. I think it's imperative to the patients to have their loved ones here. It's very scary to drop somebody off at the front door and not know what's going on inside the hospital. So as much as I can maintain visitation, we will. And I believe every hospital right now in the region is still allowing at least limited visitation for now, which is important. Other question I get is about elective surgeries. We stopped elective surgeries for about 6 weeks early on the pandemic, and we resumed back in the early part of May, and we've been able to do that again very safely because those patients don't get anywhere near anybody else, and their visitors again are segregated from the rest of the hospital. So I believe all hospitals in the area right now are continuing elective surgeries. You may hear in the news, areas in Texas, Florida, different areas that are getting hit harder have stopped surgery. So it's an important thing to kind of check with your physician, check the website as to what's happening with elective surgeries. But they were very much backlogged when we started back up. Certainly had a surge of surgeries that had been postponed. And these aren't what you might think of as elective. These are somebody who's been waiting for their total hip replacement. So they're in pain, they're at home, and they've waited for weeks for that surgery. So they're anxious to get that, taken care of. A lot of rumors, as I mentioned, on social media. So please direct people to appropriate websites and don't believe a lot of what you hear out there. I get questions asked a lot about, I heard this, I saw that. A lot of false information because people are afraid and they're sharing misinformation. So please direct them to either a hospital's website. Riverside County's website is very good, the CDC. That's where you can get the accurate information on what's happening, what's the latest treatment for the disease. Every hospital in this area has the most up-to-date and current treatments for coronavirus, which is really helpful and very positive. So someone receiving care here gets the exact same thing they would get, or if you were at a high tertiary level facility in Boston, New York, any place in the country, every hospital here has those same medications, the same types of oxygen and ventilators and care that we provide is the same here. We also have wonderful supply access. We've been very blessed with that in the protective equipment that's available to our staff. The patients are encouraged to wear a mask while they're here in the hospital, again, to protect themselves and to protect our staff. But we keep track of everything. We do counts every single morning on how many gloves and gowns and masks of all different types that we have and the number of ventilators, and every hospital does that in this area. So very fortunate to have the amount of supplies that we have, and we are really prepared for a major surge, should that occur. So kind of the last question that I get is, what can the community do? How can you help the hospital? How can you help your loved ones and your family? A couple of things that I would say to that. One is please donate blood if you're able to do that and safely do that. People are afraid to donate blood, just like they're afraid to do a lot of different things. But it's important to do that because now we're experiencing a severe blood shortage across the country because of that fear. So people needing, emergency surgery, being involved in a trauma, all the different reasons you might need blood, there's a severe shortage. So been getting that word out, and I know there's a lot of donation sites now available in the county. So if you go on the Red Cross website, that's where all the different locations are to donate blood. So I'd appreciate that. Also continue to recognize the healthcare heroes. We had a lot of love and support, in March, April, May, when things were really, and now it's really tapered off. And it's really important still to recognize the healthcare heroes, make them feel special. They are, certainly running a marathon at this point, not a sprint, and the care and what they're experiencing, every single day caring for a coronavirus patient can be very taxing on the staff, and then to go home to their loved ones, with that type of fear as well. So really important that we continue to recognize them also. So I'd like to open it up for any questions that anybody has.
Barbara, I think you posted a question on the chat. Did you want to ask that?
Well, I thought, I didn't know I was going to have to say it out loud, but yeah,
Okay.
So can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so, I'm sure this is fake news, and I think you already answered my question, Darlene. Be careful about what you listen to and what you believe, and go to the website to find out the truth. And, I keep hearing that, there's the numbers aren't correct, because for every COVID, yes, and every time you get tested and it's no, and then you come back and it's no, and then you come back and it's yes, it counts as 3. And also that hospitals, doctors, and people, in that line, and the first responders are paid money for every positive, COVID, which sounds so stupid. I even feel I'm stupid asking this question, but
You're not at all.
it's like,
It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And Adam was nice enough to give me us a link to go and, get the truth. But I'm just so over, this, the media. I think the media is probably our worst enemy here, giving us false information and getting us all into a frenzy. I know I'm in a frenzy, and I have to walk myself off the ledge every day. I wake up thinking, oh my God, I got it. I got the COVID. And then I calm down and everything's fine, and I think people that aren't out there really paying attention to what's going on, and I'm not sure the news is the best place to get the information, but the last thing I heard was that hospitals are encouraged to, maybe say someone died from COVID when they didn't, and because they get money. I'm sure there's no truth to that, right, Darlene?
No, there is no truth to that.
Good.
No, we certainly track our finances related to this, and because we need that to apply for grants. So thus far, we're down about 16 million that we've spent on COVID just at Temecula Valley Hospital, and we've received about 3 million in grants, and of that, all but 250,000 is just a loan that we will pay back. So really, we've received about 250,000 for the care of COVID, and certainly it doesn't benefit us at all to have more COVID patients. It's very expensive and financially draining to the hospital, and there is no truth to the fact that we get anything additional for having more COVID patients. Certainly the opposite. So it is a significant financial reality, as it is with any business. But the amount of supplies and drugs and treatment and staffing levels that we have to do to provide safety for these patients and segregate everyone else, it's very expensive. So there certainly is no advantage to creating anything that wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah, it is a good question because it is around social media that people are they go in for something else and they also have COVID, and it's being tracked that way. So there was a question about when you give blood, do they test for COVID when you donate?
No, they do not, and COVID is not blood transmissible, so it's not like HIV or hepatitis or some other things that are transmissible in blood. So it's not tested for.
Okay. Okay, is there any other questions that anyone wants to unmute themselves?
Hi, Darlene. It's Denise. How are you?
Hi, Denise.
I have a question. So as realtors, we're about 4,000 strong. Is there anything that we can do as an organization to help at this time?
Yeah, if the realtor board could coordinate their own blood drive, that would be tremendous. Also, getting the word out on social distancing and masking. You guys have a lot of power in your voice. A lot of people trust and respect the realtor board. So, use that voice in a positive way to encourage people to stay safe. Also, anything that you can do for mental health. People need things that are positive. The previous comment was, I'm afraid that I might get the COVID. Think of it as getting the flu. So many people, the majority, are going to be just fine. We see people all the time in the emergency room come in because they've got flu-like symptoms, and just about everybody gets sent back home again, in a self-quarantine, and does just fine, just like you would with the flu. So, not everybody's dying, not everybody's in the ICU. It's a low rate of that. So getting that word out to take care of one another, be positive, support one another, use that networking arm that you have and that strength that you have to support one another.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Darlene.
Thank you. Okay, I think we will have one more question and then we will move on. I saw a question in the chat box. It was that they have heard, again, this is another rumor, that they make an appointment to get a test for COVID, decide not to wait in the line, and then they get their results that they're positive, but they never even took the test. Do you have any insight on that?
Never heard of them. So that would not be accurate. There's multiple different test sites. Unfortunately, a lot of them are getting overwhelmed, and so it's taking longer to get an appointment. and unfortunately longer to get your results, but I haven't ever heard of anybody getting inaccurate results. They've been, our experience anyways, is they've been very accurate. We are fortunate that we work with a laboratory that supports the hospital, and we're able to get results, you know, under 24 hours. So that works out really well for us. But the other, you know, larger labs in the area, I know that it takes longer, but I've never heard of a concern with inaccuracy.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And again, thank you to the nurses and the doctors and all the staff members that are out there working hard to make sure that our county really, or our area is really low in the Temecula Valley. We really appreciate all your hard work, and we'll definitely do our best to make sure that we spread the real news of what's going on, along with maybe getting together and doing a donation for blood. So thank you so much for being here and appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, so next up is our Did You Know? We closed 276 transaction from July 13th through July 19th. And last year at this time, we closed 282 transactions. So we are just a little bit under, but man, with this inventory, that's pretty awesome. And everyone is doing an amazing job. So it's really good that our areas, obviously our values are still there. They're growing and going up. So that's awesome. And now we will review the properties. We are going to move on to our committee updates. If you can unmute yourselves, and anyone who needs to give an update. Do you want to start with WCR?
Sure, I would love to. Hi, good morning. Alicia Amadeo, your 2020 Women's Council President. So happy to have this year. It's been a challenge with COVID, but we've been working through it. Our update is we have our virtual Vogue fashion show. That's our charity cause is going towards our Cancer Association, so we're really excited about that. That's going to be August 28th. And if you're interested in being a member, we would love to talk to you about what that looks like. This year for 2021, you could be a member and be mentored for 2022 leadership. I'd be excited to talk to you what that looks like. And tomorrow we have our Leadership Academy talking about mentoring and modeling. So if you're in your business, it's one thing that we forget to add or even know how to add as a mentor to your business. So that's tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and join or sign up with SRCAR. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other committee updates?
I don't know that Nikki's here, so I can speak for the affiliate committee, if that's okay.
Of course.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I am Lisa Wayman, the co-chair for our affiliate committee, and we have a tax panel coming up on August 25th. It is from 12 to 1:30. Free to attend. It's via Zoom, and you can get the link on the SRCR calendar. And we have speaking Nicole Albrecht. She is she's with Financial Accounting Services, and we have, I believe her name is Dino Champagne. I hope I'm saying her first name correctly. She's going to talk about 1031 tax exchange, and Nicole is going to talk about the PPP loans and how to incorporate them in your tax planning. So it should be a very informative tax panel on August 25th, and I will put those details in the chat for you.
Thank you.
Barb Horan, and I just signed up for that. That looks really like a great class to go to. A lot of things I'm interested in there. Hey, so Barb Horan here. I'm education chair, also one of your board of directors. Just a little update on our education. We had our addendum class last week with Michael Percival, and I was in Colorado and listened in while I was in the car, and it was fabulous. He is a great trainer. If you missed it, too bad, so sad, but he's going to teach it again coming up because he's really, really good at that. And then in August on the 26th, which is a Wednesday, Kim Meeker is teaching Working with Agents. That's a SIG class, and looking forward to that. In addition, just real quickly on our education, we had a submission and an approval to have a reverse mortgage educator come and teach a class again, and really looking forward to that. I've been to many of them, and they're very, very good, informative. It's a great vein to get some leads, especially in today's climate. So you don't want to miss that. I think it's going to be $75. I believe. I'm not sure about that though. I have to. I'm looking at my notes, but it's not clear. Also, we are bringing back Mindset Boot Camp, and every year we have to do a sexual harassment class, and we're gonna be doing that as well coming up this year. And then ethics comes up also in November. So we have a lot of things going on right now. There's a lot of training for you. If you want to look at the calendar on SRCAR, it's just chock full of great things to do to fill your space when you're sitting at home and you know, wondering, well, what do I do? You know, and find out how to get some leads and what to do with your time. So just want to let you know that we're working on things, trying to keep everything fluid so that you've got things to do. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right. Any other committee updates? I'll go for MLS. Just again, thank you guys for all being here. Any listings that you submit for any of the MLS marketing meetings in Hemet, Menifee, Lake Elsinore, or Murrieta, you guys will be entered into a raffle. And the raffle, you'll receive a writer sign of your choice. And so I appreciate it. Spread the word. We're trying to do everything together. As far as YPN, real quick, we do have a reverse raffle for Project 99. They're $100 a ticket. So there's 2 chances of winning, and it's going to probably obviously be on Zoom. So it's going to be fun. And so please help support. Again, it's $100 a ticket, and you have a chance to win $1,000. 2 chances of that. So, and then we also have our school supply drive that helps the foster kids in Lake Elsinore. It's a foster care agency called Kalamali, and we do this every year. And we're getting donations. We're so happy for everyone's support, and we'll be doing this all through now to the middle of the month. Because August is YPN's month of giving. So thank you. All right. Last, so SRCAR events. I know that we just went through a lot of them, but if you go onto the website, srcar.org/calendar, you're going to get all the events here. And then in addition to the events, there's also on-demand learning that's free. And these are the pre-recorded classes. So you have legal updates, COVID tips. There's a bunch of free, when you have the time to take a look at it, doesn't have, you know, they're already pre-recorded on there. So, but as far as this week's goes, today there's a vacation rental management class. There's learning of showing time. Tomorrow there's selling apartments at 10 a.m. Maybe that's something that you're interested in. And then another one of discovering new prospects at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thursday is there's an RPR mobile, how to use that, revamp your business at 10 a.m. 2 o'clock is the fill out contracts on the go. So, and then Thursday is Matrix creating CMA. Maybe you're new in the business. So there's a lot of opportunity here to educate yourself. So I would definitely check out that calendar. And then we have our town criers. If we have any updates or any criers, they'll be placed here. Again, if you want to do a town crier, please just submit by 3 o'clock on Monday so that we can showcase any events that you're hosting yourself. I'm assuming we don't have any. So, okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you guys got a little extra tidbit of information. I think it was pretty amazing that we had the CEO from Temecula Valley Hospital here, and she was amazing and definitely squashed some rumors that are going around. We're lucky to live in the cities that we live in here in the Temecula Valley. So I hope everyone has a great day. And next week we'll be back here on Tuesday. It will be my last day for this month's hosting of the meeting. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Thank you.
Great day, guys.